What's up, guys? It's Jay here. I'm on my way to work, but I wanted to record a video for you guys giving you a little update on the Ram 1500. So if you've watched the channel, if you're subscribed, if you're a returning viewer, first of all, thank you for watching. Second of all, you know about the issues that I've had with my 2019 Ram in regards to just like a no start condition, total loss of function, things like that. So essentially, back in May of 21, I had an issue with my truck where it was running rough, the auto stop start wouldn't work, and eventually that progressed into a situation where my truck, when it was shut off, would not restart, but I had all power, you know, I had my speedometer, my interior lights, things like that, and then that further progressed to a situation where I didn't have any power in the truck whatsoever. So basically they put a couple new batteries in it, tried some different things. They came to the conclusion that it was the ignition switch, the push button start basically. So they replaced that, and the truck's been great ever since. And that was what, 7 months ago-ish, 7-8 months ago. So truck's been fine, been running, driving great, starting just fine. I've not had any issues whatsoever. Fast forward to last week. We had some inclement weather. What I mean by that is in Ohio we got some snow, wasn't really a whole lot, but it was pretty cold. It was like 10, 15 degrees, somewhere in there. The truck had run fine for a few days prior to this happening, but I drove it to work one day. It was totally fine, got out of it, shut it off, everything's great, got back in it to leave for home. And when I did, I noticed that my menus had changed. So meaning like the themes on the display were different. They were back to factory default. I had them set to look like the limited screens because I like the blue. So I noticed that those had reverted, but I didn't remote start the truck, and usually that only happens when I remote start it. For whatever reason, it's almost like the Uconnect system can't hold its memory. It's always been a thing. It's on the forums, you can look it up. No big deal there. But this was different. So I reset them, drove home 50 miles, 60 miles, parked the truck. I was on a phone call when I parked the truck. So obviously I didn't get this on video where I would have shown you guys exactly what happened. I was on a phone call and I sat in the truck for a little while with it running to finish up the call, grab my stuff, shut the truck off. And the only thing that I can compare this to is like when you turn on a lamp and you turn the switch, and as soon as you do, the light bulb blows out. That's what it was like whenever I hit the start or the off button on the truck. So when I hit the button, just bang, nothing. It was totally black, no courtesy lights, nothing. So immediately I'm like, ooh, this is bad news. I've been here before. I don't like the way that felt, right? I tried to start the truck, nothing. Keys not working, can't unlock and lock the doors with the fob, no start, just nothing. I open the door, running boards don't come down, courtesy lights don't come on out front of the truck. So I'm like, okay, we have a problem. Hop out, shut the door, try to lock it with the fob, nothing. Try to lock it from inside the truck, nothing. So at this point I'm pretty frustrated because I've had this happen before and I know that it's not right. So I thought, all right, let's let it sit for 20, 30 minutes, see what happens. Maybe I caught it at a bad time. Like maybe something just like didn't shut down right or whatever, or maybe I popped the fuse or something because it was cold, right? Figured, all right, let's just let it sit for a minute. We'll come back out here in a bit and give it a shot. So I went in, had some dinner, did a little family time, told my wife what was going on, and obviously, she just bought a new car and we try to stagger our purchases, so it's not like, she was prepared for me to look at her and say, I might have to get a new truck, or, I've starting to lose confidence in my truck, which I hate to feel that way because I love this truck. But regardless, came back out about, 30 minutes to an hour later, and I thought, you know what, let's try to remote start it. Let's just see what happens. So I remote started it, and it worked. I don't know why it worked, but it worked. So hopped in, truck was totally normal, like got in, lights were on, steps came down, radio's playing, the automatic climate's on, all's good, right? So I hop up in the truck and I sit down. Obviously the theme has gone back to the default red and steel Mopar theme. I looked at my presets on the radio and those were reset as well. So whatever's happening is totally resetting the truck and the head unit, the themes, whatever. It's all going back to default. My Sirius is still there and all that stuff. It's just like the memory is wiped for some reason. So I drove the truck to work the next day. No issues, zero problems with that. Got it home, parked it, shut it off thinking maybe it would do it again. It didn't. And so I'm in the truck today. I'm driving it to work. This is the second time I've driven the truck since this happened. So it could happen today. My point is with this video is that this is now, in my opinion, a recurring issue. The first issue that I had wasn't a fluke, or it wasn't a one-off situation. Clearly this is happening for a second time, or it's progressing. Now, the only difference between the last time this happened and this time was the fact that the first time it happened, it was pretty gradual. So, I had the auto stop start malfunction, then I had the rough run, then I had the no start condition, then there was no power. This time it was just immediate no power. I'm not 100% sure what happened with that, or I'm not sure what triggered it, but whatever it was, it's a situation that I didn't, expect, obviously. And I'm glad I was at home when it happened because I could just leave it parked, right? If this had happened when I was at work, that's 60 miles. That's a tow or, towing to the nearest dealership that maybe I don't want to work with. That's a bit scary. At least we weren't on a trip and we weren't, 500 miles from home. So I'm thankful for that, but also it could have just as easily happened then. So now I'm at a crossroads with this truck. I'm starting to lose my confidence in it, clearly. I'm not going to, expect this to happen again, but it could absolutely happen again. The truck has 70,000 miles on it. I've had it for a little over 3 years. So I've definitely driven the truck more than an average consumer normally would. And that's, one of the hangups that I have is that if I would go to trade this truck in, I'm probably not going to get what the market is for these trucks right now, which is pretty good. With the supply chain shortages and things like that, obviously used car prices are going up and values are going up, things like that. But the fact that I have a bit higher mileage than what a normal everyday consumer would, or what the average would be, I'm sure that I'm probably not going to get what the truck would potentially be worth at a lower mileage. Now, I do have some upgrades and things like that to compensate for maybe that mileage, like the Mopar factory lift, the 2-inch lift with the Fox shocks. I do have the power running boards. I've got the tonneau cover, which most dealerships don't take into account whenever you're trading a vehicle in. That's just kind of like extra stuff. But I do have a few things here and there that may compensate for that. Plus, the truck is in incredible shape. I try to treat my vehicles really well. I don't really eat in them. I seldom, have anything to drink other than water and maybe a protein shake. So I don't have kids, so the back seat's pretty much perfect because really nobody sits back there. I do use the flat load floor, but outside of that, the back seat doesn't get used much. So the truck is in pretty great condition, so that does work for it. But I'm tossing around the idea of possibly trading out of it or selling the truck outright and just going ahead and washing my hands of this issue, especially because I do put so many miles on the road. I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I'm going to be stranded, or I'm going to have to call and wait on a tow truck, or maybe it's like it is now in winter, truck won't start, I'm stuck on the side of the road, it's 10 or 15 degrees outside, and I'm gonna freeze, right? Like, it's gonna be cold. So I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be stuck in that situation, and I know that that might seem minor to a lot of you, but to me, when you spend a lot of time on the road, you think about things like that and potential situations you could find yourself in. So that's kind of where I'm at with this truck right now, and in my thought process. I don't often do this, but I'm curious if any of you out there have this truck, or you're watching this video, maybe you're not familiar with me or with the channel or with my Instagram or anything like that, but you know, this resonates with you because you've had a similar issue. Please drop a comment and let me know what kind of issues you're having, if you've resolved this issue and what it was possibly. That way I might know where to start. That would be awesome, because right now I think it's kind of a guessing game, since it's something that's obviously going to be probably more electrical than anything. So, you know, any direction would be great. Also, if you have any suggestions of what truck I should buy next if I do decide to get rid of the Ram, drop those below, because I'm curious to hearing what you might like to see on the channel. I did do something back in December that I'm sure some of you might be interested in, but I was just messing around thinking about it, and I did place an order for a vehicle, spec'd one out. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Some of you might know from the things that I posted over on Instagram. Taking delivery of that vehicle once it hits ground could be something that we do also. So, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are shifting right now. Obviously, we just bought the 2022 Forester Limited, so that's something I'm really excited about. Showing you guys, getting out in front of you and letting you take a look at, especially if you're interested in that vehicle. But yeah, guys, drop a comment, please. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your take on this situation and what you might do if you were in my shoes. So that's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. It's pretty short, but I just wanted to get this out there and at least put this one out on YouTube. So if anybody's having this issue, they can kind of commiserate with me, or if anybody solved this problem, they can go ahead and comment and let me know what they did to fix it. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and you won't miss any content if you do subscribe. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Bearded Auto Media and at bearded_ram if you're interested in the more Ram specific content. I don't post a whole lot over there. I post a lot more on Bearded Auto Media, but if you're interested in Ram stuff, I got a lot of great pictures of the process that my truck has gone through, as far as, you know, the additions and things like that we put on it since we got it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.